Hey folks, and welcome to another bonus episode for Utawarerumono Mask of Truth. It's now time for our second reading session of the Glossary. So let's see what awaits us. Right. Oh, some new stuff with Andrew. Now I just need to try and remember where we last left off with her. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Now I know. With Kuon's special medicine, the lasting effect of the poison was cured. Soon enough, she returned to her usual precocious ways once restored to health. Shikidaro! A traveling merchant that appeared in Nekone, claiming to have been sent by Kuon. He is never seen without a smile, and speaks with effusive politeness, making his intentions difficult to read. Upon hearing before the group, he produces many unusual and rare items, astounding them with his selection. Shortly, he reveals Kuon's special medicine without clarifying its intent, and uses it in an attempt to measure Oshtor, Haku's, character. His principle is that he will deal in any goods except slaves, and after providing the special medicine, he complies with Oshtor, Haku's, request and agrees to supply everything that they might need to buy for a war effort. Take a pop on your mo. Oh gosh, what's new with him? I don't know. I guess we will just read the whole thing, Yamo. Tekapopo is a member of the 8 Pillar Generals. However, he attains the position by right of succession only, and he himself possesses no talent or notable skills. An obese little man who lives his life surrounded by opulence and beautiful women. Tekapopo is an arrogant man with bad taste. He loathes Oshtor, who has found glory and popularity despite his comparatively low birth. When Glossary found out that he was hiding contraband, he was thrown into imprisonment. However, he escaped with help from his right-hand man, Nekone, and managed to destroy all evidence of his crimes. On the battlefield, he is reckless to the point of ignoring his tactician's strategies, and often makes catastrophically unwise decisions that places his allies in danger. Nyamo. Antwa! What's new with you? I think I'll just go with the Vurai bit. Upon seeing that Vurai was pursuing Oshtor, she left the Imperial capital to alert Haku and his friends. However, she eventually encountered Vurai instead, near death in the wilderness. Rather than abandoning him, she showed him kindness and mercy, attempting to nurse the man back to health. False Andrew, the bootleg munchkin that is. During the confusion in the Imperial capital, they appeared before the people being led by Raiko. When Andrew escaped the Imperial capital with Haku, the impostor appeared before the unwitting citizens of the Imperial capital and claimed they were the true Andrew, successfully usurping the throne. Okay. Oh, Kiru the lad. What is new with you? I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff. I guess we'll just go with... I guess we'll just do the whole thing. A friendly boy who is actually a prince from Nekone. He is naive and a bit timid, but he holds himself to a strict training regimen. Kiru is a sworn brother of Oshtor. By the order of his brother, he joined the group to work under Haku. He is plagued by anxiety, and his innocence and lack of experience constantly leave him adrift in the confusion that regularly ensues from the actions of his fellow team members. He tends to get stomach aches as a response to stress. After the war against Uzurusha, he often took care of Shinonon. After rescuing Anju, he stayed in the imperial capital along with Ogi to help the families of Oshtor's elite escape the city. He escaped the imperial capital while running from pursuers, and eventually he was able to meet up with Oshtor Haku partway there and defeat his assailants. He led the elites and their family members safely to Nekone. Okay, Marrow? I mean, you don't even get events. Why are you still even in the glossary? Right. I have no clue what's new with you. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start from the top, I suppose. A master scholar of Yamato. Actually an under-scholar. He wears gaudy clothing and has his face made up with heavy white powder and paint. As might be guessed from looking at him, Marrow has a somewhat frail constitution. He loves to drink, but cannot hold his liqueur. As a member of an aristocratic house that has fallen from grace, he remains humble and immediately approved of Haku upon their first meeting. He uses magecraft by chanting mantra. He shares a close relationship with Oshtor. Where Haku was employed by Oshtor, Marrow was deeply disappointed that he couldn't join them due to his own high salary rate. He works hard to restore the former glory of his fallen house, but the extravagant spending and decadent lifestyle of his father and grandfather do little to help the situation. However, Marrow himself often throws his money away because of his passion and taste for finer things. In order to remedy the situation, he's taken the offer to work as tactician under Deku Pompo. Nyamo. Mikazuchi. Oh gosh.
I don't know what's there for you.
You know what, we'll just start off with the however part. However, unlike Oshtor, there is almost... Wait, no, did we ever get to see this guy? In this game? Prior to the... No, we'll just read from the top. Balls to it. Yamato's Imperial Guard of the Left, and one of the masked ones known as the Kuru Turuka. His might is equal to that of Oshtor's, and together they are called the Twin Shields of Yamato. However, unlike Oshtor, there's an almost ferocious presence to him, and he exudes the intimidating aura of a battle-hardened warrior. His elder brother is Raiko, one of the 8 Pillar Generals. In direct contrast to his public image as a laconic, brutal warrior, he watches over the people in the guise of a sly old man named Kuon. He also shows a softer side from time to time, worrying about Nekone, as if she was his own younger sister. During the crisis in the Imperial capital, he crossed blades with Vurai, but eventually returned to his duty to search for Anju, when he sensed something unusual from Vurai, who sought a final confrontation with Oshtor. Raiko, one of the 8 Pillar Generals, also known as Raiko the Sage, the most resourceful general in Yamato. He is said to be capable of conquering even the most impregnable of fortresses. Raiko does not rely on simple military force, but instead has keen intelligence and strategy. He is the elder brother of Mikazuchi, the Elder Guard, the Imperial Guard of the Left. As a man of strategy, Raiko considers war an intellectual exercise. He begins by analyzing the situation from a broader perspective, and then lines up each factor to his satisfaction, even the smallest elements in the battlefield, to ensure flawless victory. Therefore, he often passes cold judgment on Mikazuchi, who employs an approach to war completely opposite from his brother's. In the aftermath of the Mikado's demise, he took advantage of the chaos to begin putting his schemes into action. Okay, anyone else? Tokifusa, one of the 8 Pillar Generals, also known as Tokifusa the Etuner. Though his war merits are not as impressive as the other generals, he is considered to be a well-balanced and prudent commander, who excels in both offensive and defensive warfare. A gentle and unassuming-looking man who wields an enormous bow with ease in battle. Wow, that was awfully brief for you, huh? Vurai is the muscle-grumpy man. One of the 8 pillar generals of Yamato, also known as Vurai, the Vanguard. His devotion to the Mikado is far more than that of the other generals, bordering on zealotry, and for his bravery, the Mikado had granted Vurai an Akurika. He strongly believes that might makes right, and his life's goal was to further strengthen the absolute power of the Mikado. Therefore, he crushed the Mikado's enemies completely, without exception. This often placed him in direct opposition to Oshtor, who prefers to pay respect to enemies and avoid unnecessary casualties whenever possible. Upon the demise of the Mikado, he suspected Oshtor of foul play. When Anju was poisoned, he held fast to his conviction that Oshtor was behind it, and arrested him, refusing to acknowledge the young and frail Anju as a worthy successor to the Mikado. He chose to imprison her. Next, Vurai plotted to make himself the next Mikado. He was defeated by Haku and the party, who came to rescue Oshtor, and they took Anju from his custody. However, Vurai was enraged. Left alive after the battle, he believed that Oshtor had taken pity on him and refused to finish him off. In his final duel with Oshtor, Vurai unleashed the full power of his Akurika, but they were equally matched. Driven back, Vurai ultimately fell from a great cliff and disappeared into the abyss below. He was discovered by Entwa in the wilds in a near state of death. Well, in a state of near death, blah, blah, blah. However, she nursed him back to health. Once he regained consciousness, he did not return to the imperial capital, but decided to cast off everything for the sake of one more chance to exact revenge upon Oshtor. You know, the way he got defeated in the anime was completely different. He did not fall off from a cliff. Just felt like throwing that out there. Anyway, one of the 8 pillar generals, also known as Washi's the Shadowlight, a mild-mannered man skilled in unifying the 7 other generals, calmly meditating when their more aggressive personalities clash. Politically, he serves as the Grand Vizier of Yamato, and he is greatly trusted by the Mikado. In the chaos following Yamato's invasion of Tsuskuru, he apprehended Oshtor under suspicion of poisoning the Mikado. During the time of confusion, he prioritized the maintenance of law and order, and showed a permissive attitude toward Vurai's actions. Are we done with these yet? Yes, we are. Okay. Right, so now it's time for location. Uzuruha? Homeland of Nosri and Ogi. It has no large cities, and with a chieftain at its center. It is a territory established by an assortment of gathered clans. Man, I am slurring me words all day round. The weather is cool and calm all year round, with rare and lush trees growing throughout the land. It is known as quite a scenic country. The fellow general Tokufusa is the current chieftain. Nakoku, country south of Yamato. It has a jutting peninsula and a great gulf. To the north, a giant bridge connects the roads to the imperial capital, and to the west, its borders are shared with Shiahoro. Its capital is Nara. Shiahoro, located near a gulf south of Yamato. The region is subtropic, and the harbors several species not easily found in Yamato. Borders Nakoku to the east. Oh no. A matsu weave, a rare fabric made from threads spun by insects that only breed once every few years, found only in a certain region of Yamato. This fabric is valued incredibly highly, owing to the rarity of the raw material, the difficulty of the production process, and the fact that the knowledge of its weaving is only taught by tradition from parent to child, a secret never to be taught to outsiders. Some bolts of this cloth are worth more than an entire house! Okay. Denny Bookshiri, a place where humans who commit sins and crimes go after their deaths. They are subjected to internal torture by demons that dwell within it. It is used as a common phrase in Yamato, so like hell? Yeah, gotcha. Eld script. Characters used in the Lovecraftian language used by those as the Unvitakion. Kayon? Joking about the Lovecraftian part, by the way. Eld script was used in ruins across many different regions, and while there is a broad variety of samples recovered, there is currently no way to decipher them. It is said that any who know their true meanings are long gone.
Haku is here.
Hanafuda. Oshtor
Haku.
created this game based on his memories in order to comply with Nozary's request. Using cards with many different pictures, players are awarded points based on the combinations of their cards. Players compete to reach the highest total score. Since the game is easy to play, resolves quickly and provides many chances to turn the tables, it appeals to many gambling sensibilities, and Nosary is swiftly drawn in. Afterwards, the game details were given to the craftsmen of Enakamwe, and the game is now beloved by the common folk. So Haku invented poker. Karuta. A card game played with 3 or more people. The cards are decorated with excerpts from poems and songs. One person plays the role of the reader, and the others try to take the card that matches the lyric read. Ultimately, the players compete to win the most total cards. The game is well loved by the common people, and while there are simple and cheap decks, more expensive sets with beautiful art are popular as well. Many different varieties can be found at the markets. Okay, Master Scholar. A highest ranking scholar of Yamato, permitted to enter the Imperial Palace. Only those who pass the Imperial exam, considered the most difficult test in the nation, receive the honor of the Mikado's direct recognition. Okay, shell matching. A tabletop game. There are many ways to play, but in general the split shells are placed with the inside facing down. The player chooses 2 shells, and if they can match the 2 sides of one split shell, they gain those shells. If they are not correct, the shells are flipped back over, and it moves to the second player's turn. This continues until all the shells are gone, and the player with the most is declared the winner. Shiahoro is famous for producing these, and often craftsmen will insert pictures and decorate the shells. Well-crafted sets can go for quite a high price, and some view them as collector's items. They cannot be mass-produced, and since sets cannot be obtained cheaply, this is generally viewed as a game for the rich. Shogi. A tabletop game popular across the lands. Both players line up their pieces on a board, and take turns moving and taking their pieces. Eventually, whoever takes the king piece is declared the winner. Can be played anywhere by using a piece of paper with a drawn-on grid, and anywhere nearby that can be used as game pieces. Popular among both the old and the young. Underscholar. An academic rank of Yamato. An assistant to full scholars. To rise up the ranks, more research is necessary. Okay. Lifestyle. Furutanta. Medium to large size livestock. Used solely for their meat. They are fed large amounts of food in order to make them fat. So the common perception is that they're naturally disgusting, but they're actually very smart and clean animals. They get into bad moods if their sleeping area is even a bit dirty. Also called swine. Karakatsua. A cylindrical marine mollusk with tentacles tipped with suction pads. The common way of eating it is to grill it whole, sprinkle some salt on top, and bite into it. Though it's also delicious with soy sauce made from fish. They generally do not grow to be very large, but in rare cases, one will grow to be absolutely colossal. These giant specimens, also known as Dio Karakatsua, are soon feared by the other local fauna as the boss of that aquatic region. Kopor. Oh, they're cute! Long-eared beasts that live in calm weather, grasslands, and forests. Their meat is used for food, and their skins are used in clothing. Since they reproduce and grow quickly, they are common prey for hunting trips, and sometimes used in training for archers. Since they scare quite easily, the moment they spot a potential predator, they run away with their powerful legs. They are sometimes raised by people for food or companionship, but since they are sensitive to their environment and susceptible to disease, they can be hard to raise. Orca. Oh, they've got little bits of clothes on them. Similar to dogs and wolves, they travel in packs out in the wild. They can be domesticated and used as guard dogs or army dogs. There are even dog races in which orcas race against one another. Oh, okay, so that's what they're currently wearing. Racing gear. Got it. Really? A snack Haku and Rouletier made when trying to find an alternative to expensive sugar. Sap and a mam are mixed in a pot, allowing the solids to sink to the bottom, and the remaining clear liquid is boiled. It didn't turn out to be a sweetener as they intended, but the end result was still a success. The name is taken from an abbreviated form of Rouletier. Its texture is somewhat gummy, with a unique sweetness. Oh, that's lifestyle, now it's just miscellaneous. Guest house. Close to the castle of Enekamwi's Olo, it has the facilities to house guests of state. Also, in case it becomes separated from the main castle in a state of emergency, it is stocked with enough supplies to last its occupants safely for a few months. With Andrew coming under Enekamwi's protection, the security is much tighter here than anywhere else in the country. Kuon's special medicine. A medicine that can heal throats, even those affected by chemical burns. When Chikinaro came to Enekamwi, he presented this as something he had been given by Kuon. After taking the medicine, Anju, who had previously lost her voice, showed a recovery that even surpassed her original state before she had gone into hiding. The ingredients and details of its creation are unknown, and it seems it cannot be produced by an ordinary apothecary. Nosary's kimono? Made for moving around, it is a specially ordered garment with the cloth and accessories all tailored to Nosary's liking. If pawned off, it would be guaranteed to fetch a high price. When gambling against Oshtor, Haku, she often places this down as a part of her wager, but he usually finds its way back to her through Nosary's discreet efforts. Tactician. A type of military strategist in Yamato. Unlike actual military personnel, a civilian is hired for the position as a contractor. In times of war, the tactician will be deployed with the commanding officer to serve as an executive officer. It is a highly paid position that requires special skills, but as the tactician is merely an employee of the commanding officer, their suggestions will often be disregarded. In some cases, a tactician is used as a convenient scapegoat for military failure. Hello, Dickopompo. Oh, I guess we're done sold. Man, I soared my words quite a lot with this one, though. It's just like bouncing between, like, this game's, like, I was gonna say language. I mean, I guess in a way it is that. It's just bouncing between a whole variety of things. Plus, my throat's a wee bit bad, so that doesn't really help either. But, well, we did it. But, anyway, folks, thank you all for watching this bonus episode for Utawarerumono, Mask of Truth, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta for now.